Akita here, so welcome to the VR Tech channel. Guess what? The first update for the newly released MetaQuest 3 is finally here. We're talking about V59, boosting possibilities for content creators, a big upward bump in battery life, upgraded friends interaction, and also a bunch of awesome new features the meta weirdly didn't even acknowledge, like an awesome native PCVR mode. Well, it was my job to dig in the system and find them for you, so well, of course, let's discover this new update together in this video. Let's get into it. Alright, here we are. As we said, the update will be available from today, but that doesn't mean that it's gonna arrive right away. Unfortunately, if you're new to the Meta platform, it actually takes a while, sometimes hours, sometimes days, sometimes weeks. So we just have to be patient, but don't worry, don't sweat. It's gonna arrive. Also, if you wanna be one of the first people to actually get the update, a little trick is always to keep your headsets connected to the power plug. So when it's gonna be available, it's gonna install automatically. And now that we know how it works, let's get to the first section. This is reactions. Because you can now send images using avatar stickers or add reactions to the messages to communicate with your friends. This is gonna appear in the People tab in your headset, and I think it's kind of a good way to create a parity with all the devices that we are using every time. So yeah, now we have them. Now this is actually interesting if you are a creator or you want to start to share your experiences on YouTube Live, because the chat, well, enter the chat. You're now gonna be able to have a feedback from your audience right in the headset while you're streaming a game. So no more getting in and out of the quest to actually check like the chat on the screen. This is not gonna be automatic though for now. I'm gonna leave the link in the description below because there's a form that you have to fill up to actually get in the early access for it. So yeah, if you're planning to stream, pretty cool. If instead you're planning to just play with your friends, now the Friends tab will be enhanced a bit. The new Activities tab make it easier to actually play and connect with your friends, which show invites to recommended apps and games from your group, of course to keep playing together the same games. With also new options to join calls, because if the other people in the group are already in a call, now you can join right away with a single button without going through the different profiles like it was before. For sure it needs to use update and getting a bit closer to, well, Discord, I guess. But now this is the big one, because if you have the Quest 3, you may notice that the battery life is not actually the best all the time. It really depends on the games, but the one with the new enhanced features for the Quest 3 tends to drain the battery life a bit fast, going under the 2 hours mark. So now this is gonna be exclusive to the MetaQuest 3, but in the power settings we're gonna have an extender battery feature. This is gonna lower the graphics a bit to actually give you longer sessions gameplays. Now digging a bit and going a bit into details, this is gonna work locking the frame rate to 72 FPS, so 72 Hz, instead of the usual 90, and also enabling fixed foveated rendering to actually lower the resolution in the peripheral view and keep the same resolution in the center. So while smoothness is going to be impacted a bit, the graphical fidelity will remain pretty similar, at least where you're looking at. The cool thing here though is that you're going to retain all the enhancements for the Quest 3, so you're not going to go to just the Quest 2 version of the same game. I wish there was an option also for that, like a extra extended battery life mode to just roll back to the previous version and use much less power, but so far I think that is a great thing to have if you're on battery life, you don't have any battery bank with you, you don't have a cable to connect, and you just want to play a bit longer. So this is definitely a great feature to have. Another update is to the Family Center that now is going to be integrated directly in the MetaQuest app, so you don't need a secondary app anymore. Again, it needs to use updates, so if you are a parent of a kid that can actually play VR, you can check on him. But now let's get to the juicy and hidden stuff that for some reason Meta didn't even mention in this update, and some are very, very nice to have. For example, we have a new sleep mode feature where we can actually decide how long it's gonna take to turn off the screen when there's no motion detected. By default it's around 10 seconds, but you can bring it up, of course, and at the same time you can decide how long it's gonna take to actually put to sleep the headset itself. So we have a more granular control over there. If you have the Quest 3, you might have noticed already because it was already in the software, but if you have the Quest 2 of the Quest Pro, now you can actually activate and deactivate objects in your environment. So you can finally remove the mirror and add or remove holograms for some applications like First Encounter, manually in interactive objects in the personalization settings. Now this one is my favorite because it's a new option if you use the Gamepad with the Meta Quest. You know, the resolution and the pass-through are now good enough to actually enjoy some 2D games as well. And because we're receiving Game Pass for the Quest platform very soon, well, they needed to do something to actually use the controller like the Xbox controller or the PlayStation controller with the headset and be able to interact with the menu without any problem. Because right now, clicking together the select and start button, you're gonna be able to gaze at something and using just the A button to select. In this way, you're not gonna need the hand tracking anymore, you're not gonna need your Quest controllers anymore, but if you want just to use the Quest as a big screen and play on it, you can just use your Xbox controller, your PlayStation controllers, sit down, connect it via Bluetooth, and use this option to actually look around, select, and we are in a game, you press together again, select and start, and you're gonna use the gamepad just like a gamepad for your games. And this option, by the way, is gonna be in settings, devices, and gamepad. It's so weird they didn't mention it. And last thing, and another thing that they didn't mention are the new dev options. You know, those options that you get if you have your Quest in developer mode. Something that you should do, by the way, because it unlocks so many possibilities, like side quest and, well, these options. Here you're finally gonna have the possibility to enable and disable the proximity sensor, so the screen is gonna stay on the entire time or off the entire time until you use the power button. It's something that I love because it's something that I use a lot already for when I shoot the True Lenses videos, because having that turning off and on every time is freaking annoying. So it's great that they added directly in the headset without going from third-party applications or IDB commands. There's an option for media transfer protocol notifications when you actually connect the USB to your Quest 3. And another new one is USB Link Auto Connect. So right now, if you have a computer ready, when you connect a USB Type-C cable to the PC, well, PCVR is gonna start directly without going through the menu and look for link. And it's a very nice thing to have, mostly for me that I use the Quest 99% of the time for PCVR games. Is that the same for you? So yeah, I will enable dev mode just for these settings because it's absolutely incredible. But yeah, here we have it. This was V59 with all its new updates directly from Meta and all the hidden stuff that for some reason, again, they didn't even think to mention. And the weird thing is that those things are actually better than the one that they mentioned themselves. At least for me. What about you? What would you like to see in V60 for next update of the Meta Quest 3? I for sure would like to see some improvements for the audio in terms of the microphone. I know that they're working on something like that, and also on recordings, because yeah, the square thing, not good. I want a bigger FOV. But well, let me know what's important for you. And as always, guys, well, we're still gonna cover every single update for the Quest platform, so subscribe to the channel if you wanna keep yourself updated as well on the updates. But we're done. So as always, if you liked the video, like. If you didn't like the video, dislike. Subscribe to the channel for more VR tech. If you really love the channel, there's a join button on there. Let on further also the Patreon. Thanks for the pictures. So join the channel, of course. And I see you guys next video. Thanks for watching. Ciao.